Welcome back, and once again we are joined over the phone by our guest, Ambassador Medhat Meligy, former assistant to the Foreign Minister. Good afternoon, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon to you. I hope you hear me well now.
Everything is okay, sir. How do you weigh, sir, the move by Cairo to join Pretoria in the case against the Israelis in the International Court of Justice?
Well, actually, there are two ways to see this. The first one is that Egypt have had enough from the Israeli way of trying to avoid responsibility by pushing it towards Egypt in very clear cases where Egypt have cleared its position in front of the international community, especially when it comes to the aid and so on. Israel have claimed several times that Egypt is not providing the Palestinians with the aid they require, which is totally against the truth. And this was the first thing that led to many other lies from the Israeli side about the Egyptian position. That's one thing. The second thing is that Egypt's position, siding with South Africa and the right of the genocide that is taking place in Gaza, will give more weight to the court case that we have in front of us right now. And this also will enable Egypt to present documents to prove its position in front of the international community. This is history in the writing right now about what are the responsibilities of each and every state in the current conflict that we are going through. And Israel has to be accountable for its acts. And the presence of Egypt in this court would give Egypt the right to provide documents and provide evidence about the genocide that has been taking place in Gaza and the rest of Palestine. And I think it's quite important that Egypt has taken this step in order to consolidate its position regarding its support to the Palestinian cause ever since this cause started in 1948.
Right. Well, sir, Egypt has become the sixth Arab country to join the case. Now, how do you see the effect of the case so far, and how would the joining of more countries impact developments?
Well, of course, when Egypt joined, and we all know what Egypt is about when it comes to the weight of Egypt in the region and in this conflict precisely, this will encourage other countries that are maybe reluctant to join South Africa in the case to also follow the footstep of Egypt and join as well. And this will show once again the isolation of Israel and, of course, all its supporters, such as the United States and the other Western countries that are still supporting Israel in the war crimes that Israel is perpetrating right now on the Palestinians. This will formulate a new world order that will show where is the right, where is the wrong, who is the colonial force that is preventing the Palestinians from their self-determination right, auto-determination right. And this is very important. That's why I mentioned at the beginning, this is history in the making. And we have to be present, and we have to be one of the people who are writing the exact and the right side of history.
Great. Sir, the Israelis have dismissed the court proceedings. Now, how would you comment on the Israeli reaction?
Well, this is not the first time, and Israel have already taken the same measures. The first time when South Africa has alone started this case in front of the ICJ. The idea of Israel is that they do not consider themselves as indicted by this, although there are 6 recommendations, and South Africa is even asking for more. And I think our legal teams that will join the South African will also add some input into the case, and this will make the case more secured in front of the ICJ. And this will definitely, or hopefully, let's say, will secure a victory in front of the international law over Israel that is trying to avoid their responsibilities for what's going on. They want to continue with the impunity they have always enjoyed in the coverage of the United States and many other Western countries who are providing diplomatic and security coverage for their crimes to continue. So I think now, by the court resolution that we hope is going to be in favor of the Palestinians, this will prevent those countries from further supporting Israel in the war crimes it's committing. And this is the most important thing that we are seeking as a real supporter of the Palestinian cause.
Sir, South Africa have requested additional provisional measures to protect the population of Palestinian Rafah city. Now, what measures can serve this purpose, in your opinion?
Well, of course, the ultimate thing would be is to order a ceasefire, which actually the ICJ have failed to do the first time. But I think that it can order Israel to take more measures to make sure that there will not be any action, military action in the area of Rafah, because we all know that if there will be terrestrial forces armed to peace, as we know the Israeli IDF will be, against civilian population who lacked any kind of defense, this will result as a bloodbath and a completion of the genocide that is taking place. So if the ICJ will see the thing correctly, they will order Israel not to take any further escalation into the current war that is taking place. And we hope that they would listen to the sound of reason, even for their own hostages who have been who has been treated the same way as Palestinians right now. And they have led to the killing of several of them by their own missiles and by own fire. Mm-hmm. So we hope that this will result as a complete measure now to stop and hold Israel from continuing its war crime against the Palestinian people and against the Palestinian civil society.
Right. In your opinion, sir, how is failure to stop the genocide affecting global belief in the legitimacy of international bodies and powerhouses?
Unfortunately, these are the bodies that we have to work with. I know that many are seeing this as now that they are incapable of forcing Israel to comply to the international law and the international humanitarian laws. But these are the bodies that we have. Let's not forget that, and this is a very important measure, that for the first time we have seen threats, direct threats, directed from, for instance, member of the Senate and the Congress in the United States, addressed to not the ICJ but the International Criminal Court, if they would issue any warrant against any Israeli official. And the way it was written, it was a clear threat to the integrity of those international instances. So if a country is capable of threatening an international organization simply because it is a superpower, that would put the whole system in jeopardy. And that's what we are scared of. The international law has to regain its respect, and we hope that the United States would understand that what it's doing is totally against the international law. We are not in a jungle, but unfortunately, many people would like to live in a jungle so that they could take the opportunities that such a jungle would provide, as we are seeing right now. So I totally agree that the current international system does not service righteousness, does not service justice. But this is the system that we have to work along, and we have to work with. We can, and we will, Egypt, with many other countries who believe that the world order is not fair and just, to correct the injustice that it is. But it is not at this time, because now we have something that is more pertinent and more pressing, which is the killing that is taking place on a daily basis in Palestine. We have to stop this with the means we have right now, and then we have to look at the international law in a broad way to see what is unfair and what is unright in it, and to correct it. This is the job of not just Egypt, the whole world community, that we have to try to find a correct solution for all the injustice that has been taking place right now.
Right. Well, I would like to thank you so much, Ambassador Medhat Meligy, former Assistant to the Foreign Minister. Many thanks for your insights, sir.